Huh?
Oh. Oh.
Make me human.
Make me human.
There we go.
Yeah, so like if somebody's like about that distance and ducking down, trying to low profile, you can throw it in interactable and actually hold down to change the arc in it to be a little lower, and that affects different throwing interactables in different ways.
So it doesn't make it a low, but it makes it so you don't.
Yeah, it
over
makes it
their heads
where
all the time.
it makes it where it's like a lot of times you would throw them in this general arc and people could come in low profile. Now you can choose to throw them lower and it'll make them harder for somebody to duck underneath it, but then it also won't go full screen because it's going to go downward and hit the ground.
Gotcha.
And this applies to special move style interactables. That applies to the Ice Clone and Tremor's Rock Summon in Variation 3.
A lot of the interactables that had grabs in them, like similar to this one, like if he's sitting here blocking, this thing's an actual real throw attack. So you can't block that, and it'll actually, you can use it inside of combos and stuff. And that affects all the ones that have these kind of grab and dash.
That's cool.
Another thing that's slightly harder to notice, but like if Kenshi does his attack 2, or a high attack, and I actually whip punish it, some of the sparks will be red instead of white. It's a little hard to see with Slasher Jason because the blood's on top of it, but that is something that's a general change where a lot of times the hit sparks will be red on an actual counter hit.
And that applies to block punishes as well. So if you block Sub-Zero's slide and then you do a quick attack to punish it, the hit sparks will be red.
So you'll know when you're punishing by the spark color, which will help people who maybe are learning how to punish in training mode too.
Another small general change is at the end of a round, if you kill somebody with a throw and then meter burn it, your combo will actually get extended only at the end of a match, and that'll let you perform a lot of the grounded brutalities in an actual combo. So you can actually let people do a lot of longer swag combos to finish somebody and then end it up with a different brutality. So there'll be
awesome.
New brutality combos you can show off with that.
Yeah, so like you could do something like go into a combo, launch them up in the air, do a meter burn throw, and then continue to do like a combo string into whatever triggers the brutality, maybe a command grab or whatever, and then it'll go into the brutality like it's one long combo.
So you created something in a patch to make the game more swaggy.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
that's fair. That's fair.
That's awesome.
I'm not arguing that. Okay. So do we want to start? That's sort of the general notes for just general gameplay.
Yeah, general gameplay.
There's a couple more things. In the beta, there was a change where command grabs would combo on hit. That in the full game, that will be EX moves only, with a few exceptions that we'll go over.
Yeah, that was more of just a general system change to be able to allow that to happen. But now certain moves like Jason's Spear Hug, the enhanced version of it will actually connect on hit or block. And then some other normal moves like Kung Lao's teleport grab, that one will also connect on hit or block.
Okay.
And we'll go with those as we go over the actual characters.
Anything else? Did you have anything else with that, Steve?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Well, and a lot of people we've talked on Twitter. People love playing Jason.
They do.
They thought he might need a little love.
Yes.
I've seen the word buff in Jason a lot.
Did we buff Jason?
A little bit.
A little bit. Same deal.
So I guess we'll start with Variation 1 Slasher. His back one was sped up a little bit, and the hitbox was increased. You can see it can hit. It's like a 9-frame move now, and it can hit from pretty far back.
Yeah, it'll make it harder to low profile that thing. Some people are actually able to low profile it. It'll also give you a way to fight back against people that are. It's a faster poke. It's a way faster poke than the combo.
The Machete Toss also has shaved off some recovery, both the regular and EX, which will help him in zoning. It's already a really damaging projectile, so now it recovers a little bit faster.
Yeah, but it's not like crazy about faster. It's a few frames shaved off.
Yeah. As well as across the board, a lot of his down moves, his uppercut, his down 1, and his down 4 are all quite a bit faster. I think that's it for Slasher, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was general hitbox improvements all over the place for a lot of characters.
Yeah.
But Slasher got a decent amount.
Yeah, his down 1 is faster, his uppercut is significantly faster, his down 4 got sped up, and that'll again help him, like Paulo said, against people that kind of around the mid-range low profile him really easily. Then in the other two, his back 1-2-2 reaction changed a little bit. It's easier for him to combo. He doesn't have to use stamina anymore. He doesn't have to do a quick run. It's true. Even you can do those combos now.
I don't believe
Oh man, I wanted to play Jason so bad, but I can't do run combos.
Well, you don't have to do the run anymore.
I can just do that?
Yeah, you can just do that.
Can I whip the
Because
throw
they
at the
have
end?
some different combos you can do now,
Right.
where you can do that move, actually run up a little bit, duck up, and do a neutral jump punch. So there are harder combos you can do now, as opposed to just the basic one.
I'm good.
His bear hug has a really cool change in EX. he can actually control which way he's throwing them. So if you're cornered, you can hold forward, and it'll keep them cornered. Before, Jason kind of had a flaw where his up-close game is pretty good with the command grab, but he would ultimately throw them away from the corner. Now you don't have to worry about that. That's EX only, but that's really strong. He has a buff. In Relentless, the more damage he takes, the better damage he does. That was slightly increased across the board, like at 40%. What are the numbers? 40, 30?
We'll have patch notes
Right.
some point this weekend, and those will list the actual numbers. But yeah, it was increased off the board with the amount of damage he does, depending on the thresholds, how much life he has left.
The reaction on 444 was changed to have them pop up a little bit closer to him. So he can do pretty simple combos like choke, or even go into a command grab if he wants to do that. So that helps. Before, he was always knocked far away, and he can only do a combo in the corner. So that'll help him up close for sure.
I didn't even know about that one.
Yeah. And then his back three was increased. The hitbox of it was increased a little bit. And he has new extensions from it. Before, he only had the grab. And first off, the grab now will connect against a blocking opponent. So you can use it as like an automatic tick throw. And that's one of the exceptions we talked about. On hit, it'll combo still. And on block, it'll still work. And then he has two new extensions. He has down one, which is a quick overhead, and up one, which is a pop-up. So he can, again, that's another move he can use in that mid-range to beat people that are doing low pokes to try to keep him out.
I'm considering going back to Jason.
And
So
another
this
one.
will be your 30th? New
Yeah, this is me.
Yeah.
Or is it an old main, new main thing?
New main.
Oh, no, it's an old main, new main.
Old main, new main. You're right. I played him for a week.
Yes, he did.
Then his 4-3 big leg is now a little bit more advantage on block, and that's something that's kind of across the board on kind of big boot, big leg style moves that we'll be going back to, but he's the first one we're talking about that has that. And I think that's it for Relentless.
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, that's good. So then Unstoppable, we did a few things with his buffs.
Oh, do tell more.
I've dealt with this a lot.
Yes, the damage buff and the healing buff both last longer, and they do a little bit more. The damage buff now will actually break armor. So if Kenshi does an armor attack, I will let you actually do the armor attack. Yeah, you'll see. It'll actually break the armor, and then you get a big combo. And the healing one will actually build him super meter while it's active. He gets health and super meter. I would say if you let the whole thing go, he gets maybe 25% of a bar or so. The EX one does not build a bar since you have to use a bar, but he gets a decent amount more health. He gets plus 30 every tick instead of, I think it's plus 25 normally. So you can choose to use a bar to get a pretty decent amount of more health, or you can stick with the regular and get bar and health. Or you can even use the regular, get a little bit health, a little bit bar, to then do EX to get even more health.
Gotcha.
I think that's it for Jason.
Now, just a general note about today's show. We probably won't say every single thing that's involved in some of these characters. We'll be patch notes. They're pretty lengthy. We're going to try to get them out early next week. We'll get them to you. But, keep in mind there'll be other small, frame stuff that, you'll be able to read about your favorite character that might not be enough to talk about now.
Yeah, there's also some bug fixes that we're not going to mention here that got fixed. There are more bug fixes than gameplay fixes, but they can have an effect on gameplay that you guys can check out later.
Yeah, and a lot of that goes into the new enhanced online, because a lot of the back end of the game and a lot of the characters that essentially be recoded to work with the rollback system. So because of that, we went in and fixed some general fixes here and there, and some moves slightly behave differently because they were recoded for the new
Gotcha.
rollback code.
Well, we got Kenshi on the screen.
What's Kenshi got?
Can't you get anything?
He got maybe a couple of things.
He's got faster pokes overall, so his down one is a 7-frame down one now. Same thing with his down 3 and his down 4, so you can fight back a little bit better. He has better recovery on hit and block on a lot of his normals, so there's some strings will actually statter now. Like this one will actually hit a little bit faster, and it'll be safer on block than it was before. So that'll let you play in neutral a little bit more with Kenshi.
Yeah, his 4-3 is better on block and is much faster.
Or
4-4, I mean.
Change and possess is after you teleport. Before you could only do a straight jump attack from it. Well, now you can actually choose to hold towards and do a normal jump punch, which will let you do into a string. Or same thing with the jump kick. So you can change your hitbox a little bit and change your trajectory and trick people up with and you can actually do combos on block into this, into a string, into teleport again, and the mix up going.
Cool.
Yeah, and he got a couple of new moves. In Possessed and Balanced, he now has 4-2-1-1 and 4-2-1-4.
Which will let you punish like stuff from about outside of sweep distance. If somebody does a sweep and whiffs, you can do that and then go into a special move combo.
Or you could use it for pressure on block, like you could end it early and then go for a throw or something like that, or go for a special move if you want to take a risk. But it's another tool to help him in the mid-range game, so he doesn't have to just rely on his special moves.
The two-suit string that he had, where it would swap the guy to the other side, you can actually meter burn this string, and then when you do, it'll reset any one of his normal strings. So you can do like 2-2 this, and then go into a string that'll actually combo. So that'll let you do stuff where if you like catch somebody with like a juggle with this, you can then meter burn it. And then from there, continue combos. And it'll let you convert like hit confirms off of a lot of things that you couldn't before. So it'll raise his damage a little bit, especially on like punishes and random hit confirms.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's a couple others. In Kenjutsu, his back 2, which is his leaping sword overhead, that's now safe. His 2-1-1, 2+4 is now a pop-up. He gets a combo without having to use a bar meter. And then his sword reflect now can actually parry normal attacks.
You gotta switch me to...
Oh yeah, you're possessed. Okay, yeah, it acts similar to Kotal's parry thing. Like it can absorb normal attacks, and then
yeah. And whenever you do, it doesn't actually give you like much advantage except for just recovery. But whenever you do successfully parry something, you can then cancel into any other special move, including another parry. So if you know two attacks are coming, you can actually double parry those and then cancel that into like the right karma and then combo from there. So that'll let him actually punish some moves that aren't normally punishable by other characters by reading it on a parry and then be able to punish from there. It'll also let you be able to, on wake up, essentially do a parry if the move's slow enough and then be able to punish stuff where you wouldn't normally be able to before.
Cool.
And there's slight damage increases. In Possessed, his shoulder charge now does 8% instead of 5. But those are the kind of things that you can look for in the patch notes.
Awesome. Let's go to the character select screen and just kind of talk about some people, then get into another little match. We're not going to show you every character. We're just going to go through the screen and just talk about a few and so on. So let's go to the good old character select screen. Well, we'll skip the new alien, of course. Kung Lao. What can we say about Kung Lao?
Kung Lao had a few changes. His jump 2 hitbox has been slightly adjusted to not hit quite as far. His variation 1 EX orbiting hat has more advantage on hit, but less advantage on block. So what that means is if you hit the move, it's easier to do combos and you'll get bigger combos. But on block, the block advantage is not quite as much as it was before. It's still advantage on block, but it's not like double digits advantage.
Yeah, there'll actually be some new combos you can do where, like, if you land a grounded EX hat on somebody, you can actually, or EX hat spin, you can run up, duck, jump, and neutral jump punch, and it'll actually continue combos where you can do that for.
Okay. And then we mentioned earlier his just a common move, the teleport into the grab, can now combo on hit.
Yeah, so if you're jumping back and you hit a jump 2 on somebody, you can do that into a teleport, and then if you do that into the enhanced teleport, that'll actually combo, and then from there, you'll be able to meter burn that. So you can actually do some kind of like hit confirm combos that you can do before.
Cool. Jax,
his back 2 is now more punishable. So his overhead's not as safe as it used to be before. His down 3 got changed to be -2 on block instead of neutral. Before, that's kind of normalized with the rest of the cast. And there's increased damage scaling on a couple of his special moves, the gotcha grab and the downwards dash punch.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to skip Sonya for now. We're going to come back to that, though. Let's go to Katana.
Katana, her down 3 is now 6 frames. You'll see across the board characters that did not have a 6 or 7 frame poke. Most of them now, not all, but most do. Either the down 1 or the down 3 got changed. In the EX Glaive in Mournful, it now has a little bit less advantage on block to prevent some really powerful traps that she had before. It's still advantage on block. It's just a little bit toned down. Her standing 4, the universal standing 4, is now pretty significant advantage on. Still pretty slow, but now if they block it, she can kind of like go for a down one or another mix-up if they're going to keep blocking. And Assassin's got the most changes. Assassin got 2 big changes. The Sharpen now lasts longer, and the EX Sharpen startup is significantly faster. It's pretty noticeable.
You can actually use it inside of the
you can actually use it in combos, and going for it in like when you're actually fighting someone is a lot easier. And then her Assassin Strike, where she runs across the screen, the EX one, the armor now lasts almost the entire run. Before it was a little small window, so if she was going to go through like a projectile, she really had to go and do it like ahead of time. She had to guess that they were going to do projectile. Now it's much easier to just blow through projectiles with that armor.
A general change for a lot of the smaller characters is when they're ducking and duck blocking, they're like hurt region on them, like being able to block attacks, has been slightly increased. So Katana and like Cassie and Scorpion, it'll make them harder to just duck and low profile some attacks that they were ducking before.
Awesome. What about Melina? Let's talk about Melina. What she got?
Wake up roll.
Yeah,
All right,
she's got
very good.
her back one too.
We took that away, actually.
Is now not as positive on block. I think it's -1 now.
Yeah.
And the hitbox was adjusted just a little, or the active frames of it was adjusted
The
a
active
little
frames
bit.
of the initial one is, I think it has 2 less active frames. So you can actually, if somebody's just machine gunning back one outside of like sweep range, you'll be able to whiff punish it on read.
The air size, actually the size across the board now recover faster on block, and they also have a bigger hitbox. So some of the issues when she was really close to you won't happen anymore. Her arm would pass through you. That's not going to happen anymore. And in Variation 2, the Pounce has increased range by a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also
you can-
faster how fast
yeah.
it comes out.
Yeah, you can pounce from a distance.
It's now truly
It's
a
pretty
pounce.
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. She absolutely just leaps at you.
The low grab is also faster in that variation, where so if you read somebody ducking down, you can actually low grab and like it'll actually grab them out. Same thing where Shay's got some tick throws now, on like a down 3 into low grab, will actually tick throw if the guy stays ducking.
Thanks, Paulo.
And similar to her sister, her down 1 is faster, and it's now 6 frames.
There it is.
Cool. Moving on to Takeda.
Takeda didn't go through many changes.
He had a big change like the last.
Yeah, before.
So you'll notice that too. There's some characters who you did work with earlier,
Right.
who won't be getting as much this time around.
In Variation 3, Ronan, his overhead is now a little bit slower. I think it's 15 frames now instead of 12. His down 1 is faster, just like the other characters mentioned, where before it was 8. I think it's 7 now.
Yeah.
His uppercut is a couple of frames
Yeah,
faster.
make it easier to anti-air, just with straight uppercut with them.
He's another character whose big leg attack, his big boot, forward 4, is now advantage on block. I think now it's more advantage on block. And probably the most interesting is in Ronan, the blade recall. When the blade goes up, on hit it's the same, but on block it will only hit 1 time. It will no longer break armor.
Yeah. And that'll make it consistent, where before there were some characters where it would hit twice on block, and there were some characters where sometimes it would hit once or twice on block, where now it'll just always be the same block. So you won't have to like sort of guess what your pressure is going to be afterwards.
Cool. And then you already touched on one of Sub-Zero's changes, which is the ice clone can be thrown downward now. And then showed off a little bit, but explain the change with the ice aura as well.
We're actually going to go into a match.
Oh.
let's do.
I'm relaxed. I'm gonna step back.
Calm down.
Let's do a Sub-Zero. And how about my boy Kano? I know we're going to the second level on that, but it's okay. And you picked Skype.
That's the one you wanted, right?
That was when you wanted.
Yeah, that's exactly what I asked. What can we say about Sub-Zero nowadays?
Well,
He's still blue.
he now has a special property when his aura is active that his EX slide will freeze you in the air. That works for EX aura. Anytime he has aura up, he will then lose the aura because he's using the collected ice energies of the aura to cause the freeze,
Passing it on to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
but then he gets a combo. So that's pretty good, because that means his defense is already stronger with using the aura, and now if they go for any kind of projectile or zoning at all, or if they're trying to pressure him, he now gets a pretty good reward for it.
Yeah, same thing on Wake Up also.
Yeah, and that's now a much better wake-up attack, and pretty much, it's also a really fast move. You can actually use it for punishing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Kano.
Kano got a lot of interesting changes.
Airball.
Airball is now
an overhead.
Overhead. It's now the best mix-up in the game.
Yeah, so from like certain distances, you can get it where it'll not do the ball part and then do the low, or and then also if you can do your inputs fast enough, you can actually do instant air balls as a quick overhead like surprise on people.
How much money did Tyler give you for all these changes?
Probably none.
None money.
None money.
None money was
None
given.
money.
The choke hit advantage is now a little bit better. Before, after you would do,
Commando.
yeah. Yeah.
See, look at Tyler.
Jumping ahead.
That's good. That's good.
The hit and block advantage on the knife slice is a little bit better. It's actually -6 now on block. So it's pretty hard to punish it. There's only a couple of X-rays that'll actually punish it. So you can sort of end your strings in that move. You'll be negative and they'll be able to hit you, but then you'll be able to sort of do some block damage and then sort of like play your game. Keno's got a really good backdash, so that also plays in with his. You can sort of end your strings into that and then like backdash until you try to punish, and then you can punish the whiff recovery on whatever you try to hit you with.
Yeah, I think that knife move, kind of in the mid-range game, will really complement his footsie's game, which is like the kind of the mid-range back and forth. It's just a great long-range move. The EX1 is still punishable. It's just the regular.
Yeah. The EX1's still the same release combos.
The back one hitbox in Cutthroat is adjusted a little bit too. The range is still not the greatest, but he goes for it a little bit more when he does it. So you can use it more as an overhead.
Cool.
Yeah, it's still got short range, but it'll usually generally hit when you think it was gonna hit.
Cybernetic got a change that I really like too. We're moving on to Cybernetic, obviously. The up laser, anti-air up laser, is now faster.
Yes, and that's something you've been using against Derek.
Yeah. You can actually, it's tough to do on read, but you kind of can. You can drop teleports down and use that pretty easily.
Oh, another change in Universal is the up ball will now hit on the first active frame. So that should be much better for punishing. Whereas before, even though it was, a 7-frame move?
Yeah, it actually was 7 frames, but he didn't move forward right away.
Right.
So it wasn't actually like hitting people, especially on like block recovery on 7 frames. Well, now it'll actually move faster and it'll actually connect on the 7th frame. So you can actually use it to like punish a lot of strings and stuff that wasn't before.
Stuff that Tyler just doesn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have some pretty interesting
You do 3
changes.
things with Luna.
You
In
stay out of
Commando.
this. It's not
Commando
about us.
got a new string. It is 2-2.
It's an advancing screen.
It's a
too.
really good advancing string. And he got another new extension, back 1-3, 1+3, where he can actually do his back 1-3 and then go into the grab. And just like 3-2, he can meter burn it and get a combo. And he's one of the characters that benefits from the command grab changes, because now his tick throws are even more deadlier if he uses the EX grab, because on block there'll be a tick throw, on hit there'll be a combo.
Yep. That's good for Kano, yeah?
Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage, I think we can just talk about.
Yeah.
Sure. Johnny Cage, his down 4, the block stun is a little, the block disadvantage is a little bit more. It's a little bit more negative. It's not like punishable now, but it's a little bit. He can't machine gun it quite as much. But what's good for him is his down 3 is one of them that was changed to be a little bit faster. So now he has a 7th frame down 3.
And his down 4 is already pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely still a really good move.
Yeah.
It's express like.
His jump 2 also was adjusted a little bit to hit a little bit more consistently against crouching characters. There were a couple of characters that had their jump 1s and jump 2s adjusted like that. And then there are a few changes for fisticuffs, which are pretty cool. The speed bag move, the back one, has a little bit faster startup. And then once the speed bag is active, it activates a little bit faster. And then once you actually have it going, it does 2 things. His throw becomes the 17% Red Shadows throw that he has, where he punches you a bunch. And then all the hits of the speed bag now do more damage. They do 3 instead of 2.
Yeah, and also more chip damage.
Right. So he can actually get some really good meterless damage with the speed bag combo when he has that buff active.
Awesome.
And if they're choosing to block because they're afraid you do a 17% throw.
There you go. That's not too bad.
Where are we at on the list? Cassie Cage.
Cassie, her flip kick is 1 frame slower.
Oh gosh.
Does that qualify as ruined or?
Yeah, that move is now.
Qualify exactly.
Put her in the dumpster, folks.
I will check the stream chat to see what they think of 1 frame.
Yes, that 1 frame. Before she could punish some moves, with a full combo that other people couldn't, and that's now been slightly normalized. It's now actually still probably the fastest combo starter in the game, but the EX one also lost its armor. It's
Hold on
now...
one second.
What?
One guy just wrote, more like fisted buffs.
Oh, that was good. I
Cool.
like puns.
I'll continue on the Twitch chat. You guys go ahead.
Yeah, the EX flip kick no longer has armor. It's still safe. It's still, really, really fast.
Yeah, so it's more generally you can use it to end your strings, and sort of like if you're going for a higher low, you can just automatically do the expert click and be safe on block to get away. It's not really meant to be used as a just armored like 7-frame launcher.
Okay, so stream chat ruined, totally ruined, blank ruined. Sonya is ruined. That's not even the right character.
Yeah, that's
Well, maybe it offends her mother.
Maybe
It's so deep. Her
Maybe
family's
that's a fortune
offended.
teller also.
that could be. It could be.
The other thing about the Nut Punch is the Nut Punch hit advantage no longer varies based on height.
Yeah.
Before, the higher up you were, the more advantage Cassie has, and that's no longer the case. And
In the brawler variation, she has enhanced versions of her grabs, which just do more damage, but those will also connect on hit inside of combos.
and they have armor.
Yeah, and they have armor now. Yeah.
Cool.
So she lost one of her armor, but Brawler gained two more armor. Yeah. And then lastly, the input for her back 2 was changed, where the last part is 2+4 instead of 1+2.
Yeah, that should make it a little easier to do on pad, and also make it where if you're mashing really fast, you won't get interactables.
Good. Awesome.
People ask for that. That's great.
Yeah.
Jackie Briggs.
Jackie had a really, really good change where her back forward 2, just the regular one, is now less punishable. I think it's only slightly negative now.
Yeah.
And then the really big thing is the EX one is now basically safe. They both have a little bit more pushback, and they're both less negative, so that gives her a much better armored move. She now can wake up with a mid that does a pretty decent amount of damage, and it's safe. And in the neutral game, she can use that and be safer too, and you get pushed back.
Yeah, and similar to Kenshi, she had a lot of like hitbox changes on a lot of her attacks, and she had a lot of hit advantage frames on a bunch of her attacks that, and then because of that, that'll lead to her being able to continue pressure on people, and it also leads to slightly easier combos to do in high tech.
Yeah.
With like the run cancels, you'll be able to do a lot of her strings into run cancels and continue the combos easier now because she's more hit advantage after a lot of her attacks.
And there's also increased hit advantage on the straight shotgun. Before, she basically got no hit advantage at all. Now she can kind of go in for a mix-up.
Yep.
She's not guaranteed like a huge mix-up, but now it's a little bit more for her to work with. And her 2-3 string, the last hit is now a low.
Nice.
Okay, that's cool.
We don't want to skip Scorpion.
No.
We're gonna get to that in a little bit. Yep.
All right, I'm just gonna wait.
I have this list here.
Well, see, I don't have that list. You should share that list with everyone.
I prepared it. Paul has seen it and Steve has seen it.
All right.
Kung
Moving right along.
Kung Jin just has one change. His big leg is now more advantage on block. His forward 4. That's really it.
He's had a couple of small frame changes on some of his strings. There were a couple of strings that were +2 that are +1 now or neutral. And then a few hitbox fixes where some things would miss ducking opponents, where those have been fixed also.
All right, Tanya.
All right, Tanya. Across the board, we'll start with Kobujitsu. Kobujitsu, the EX Rekka, the armor has been removed. She no longer has armor leading into more mix-ups. And the EX Tonfa Toss is now neutral on block. It no longer guarantees more block strings. Just you can't like loop it over and over again. Her back one is also slower by 1 or 2 frames.
Yeah, I think it's 11 now instead of 10 on the back one.
And but the good news is in Dragon Nana, a couple of moves do more damage. Her big upward one and her medium big poke that goes across the screen, those do a little bit more damage. And then Pyromancer, her fireball recovery has been decreased quite a bit.
Yeah. So Tanya generally changes. Generally, the gameplay stays the same. It's just some things have been like normalized to sort of work with like within like the constraints of all the other characters. She's you won't just be able to do Rekka now as both like an armored move to go against pokes. You can more use it now to like stagger your strings instead of, and you have to use her other armored moves.
And then hopefully, I think it'd be cool if the Tanya players started exploring the other 2 variations more now. And yeah.
What we got next, Derek?
I think we should do a Sonya Scorpion match since I blew the cover on Scorpion. My bad.
It's fine. It's fine.
Is it?
I'm okay with it.
All right. Sound a little moody.
I'm moody.
Well, while it's loading, I guess you can talk a little bit about Sonya's grenades, because they've gone through a lot of changes.
Yeah, the grenades before they would actually bounce in the ground, and they would use like physics. And then with the new rollback online code, the grenades just sort of go and then they hit the ground.
The trance will actually drain meter on hit.
Awesome. Yeah, and it's actually that one, and then also the red ruin is also a lot faster to activate. And there are combos you can do with trance into some of the purple ruin, continue to combo, and then be drained in the guy's meter while you're doing the combo. So we'll have some combos that will actually leave the person at less super meter than when you started it.
I personally cannot wait to see a Sorcerer Quan Chi player with that purple rune. I think it's going to be super trolly and awesome in tournament.
Awesome.
Goro.
Lord Goro.
Prince.
Goro doesn't have a lot of improvements, but it's a big improvement if you play Goro. The big thing is his walk speed and his run speed has been noticeably increased.
Yeah, so it'll let him be able to get in a little quicker, and just general. And then once you're within like 3/3 of the screen, you just punch walk.
Yeah, and I think that's good for Goro because Goro was a character that already had some really good tools. It's just his mobility was so limited, and now it's just enough better that I think Goro players will be quite happy. And I think he's the last guy where his big leg, and he's like the king of big legs.
He's got the biggest.
Yeah, that now has more block advantage.
Cool. And the rock star, Tremor.
Tremor's up rock.
Rockstar, I get
See what I
it.
did?
Oh, it took me a second.
That's because you're looking at your phone.
I'm watching the stream chat.
Tremor's up rock now has a little bit more recovery for him.
Yeah, essentially when you throw the rock up, it'll actually come down like 5 frames faster, or 5 frames slower than it did before, and then after it hits the ground, it's 10 frames more there. So you can't just spam up the up rock as much as it did before. It'll still be plus on block if somebody blocks it. So it's still not something that's like considered ruined, but it's just generally not as plus as it was before.
And in Crystalline, the EX down back 1 down, the low like shatter move, that is now -5 on block, I believe.
I believe it's actually -10. So you can actually.
What?
Ooh.
You just ruined so many
That's
things.
he's absolutely ruined. Oh, and Tremor reminds me of a universal change we forgot, which is with the ground pounds, the unblockables.
Yeah, a lot of the guaranteed setups where you can knock somebody down and then while they're on the ground, be able to hit them with unblockable moves like the ground pounds or like the Goro Stomp. Those moves will actually continue the combo scaling now. So if you finish a big combo that had like a decent amount of combo scaling on it, and then you hit them with the guaranteed ground pound with any of these characters, that ground pound will actually be combo scaled. But the thing you can do is delay it slightly, where as soon as they can do a backdash or a wake up attack that will have like canceled out your move. Then the damage scaling will actually be reset. Something where it'll be a little bit more fair for players on knockdown to not have to take like a 13% damage constantly. But he can just delay it a little bit, and then you have to guess to get out of it.
And that's all those style of moves, not just Tremor.
Cool.
All right, so that's some of the balance changes,
Yes.
right? I mean, there's still more to come, or to be shown.
Right.
These are I would say the major ones. There's a little hitbox kind of stuff